unstable future.
Tisk tisk, or should I say tick tick?
We've kept him in check. Nothing bad is gonna happen.
Oh, really? Well, let's review, shall we? His powers are great. They've affected even his friends. You know, he could change the fabric of reality as we know it into something, deeply unstable.
Hey, I tried to harness those powers for the dark forces, but I was persuaded otherwise.
You've noticed how stuff's gotten a lot more wholesome lately? A lot less scary episodes, as it were.
You're only biding your time. Chaos is inevitable.
It is me. I'm kidding. Okay, let me stop. Okay, so now that you saw the clip, here's some things you should know. So first, as it turns out, Bezel himself, yes, Bezel himself, as it turns out, he said something about his chicken's powers affecting his friends, and also, French Wife said something about that there's more wholesome episodes than scary episodes because, well, one, there were like a lot of like wholesome episodes like getting made instead of like focusing on the lore, and two, I feel like they're gonna focus on more on Cheeseburger than the lore, but we're gonna get to that later. But in this next clip, it might be a little bit interesting because, well, you'll see. Take a look.
Oh, would you look at the time? Time to bother the puppy and his friends.
Oh, Daddy time!
Oh, not this one.
Do you have any time for me?
Never.
Oh, come on! We can get to know each other more!
No! Can't you see I'm busy?
So as it turns out, this one was really kind of interesting, huh? Well, not really, I wouldn't say interesting, but like kind of like, you know, kind of like love, I guess. Not really love, okay. What I'm trying to say here is that Bezel is trying to, he's looking at the time, and he's gonna like bother his friends and the puppy, which is Chikn Nugget. As it turns out, he's keeping an eye on Chikn Nugget, if you remember what I said later, a few minutes ago. But here's the thing, though. Ice Cream distracts Bezel from doing that because, well, at the end of the episode, French Fry in the background just gives, like, thumbs up. So, yeah, because basically, French Fry and Ice Cream are on the current mission, so they're trying to keep Chikn Nugget safe from Bezel. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing. But this next episode, it might cover a little bit of, a little bit of, like, I don't know, mystery. Just check this out.
Prophecy or not, I'm here to assure Chicken stays on the path of righteousness. Look at him. He's such a good boy. I think we won't have to worry about a destroyer of worlds anytime soon.
So, yeah, initially, my mission was to incite thoughts of destruction and chaos within Chicken to assure total Armageddon. But, kinda like how peaceful stuff is here. What? I haven't lost my teeth. It's just, maybe I have grown kind of fond of these guys.
That was also part of my mission, too.
So, as it turns out, so they said prophecy or not because it turns out Ice Cream and French Fry are trying to keep Chicken safe away from Bezel. Basically, what I just said earlier. But also, we get to see that Ice Cream says something about that he wants Chicken to be like path of like, you know, like total Armageddon, like, you know, Ice Cream and Chicken being powerful duels, like of, you know, chaos and dark rituals and all that. But Ice Cream's like, you know what, stuff is peaceful here. I feel like I should just give it a chance and just let it go. But also, French Fry herself said that was also part of her mission. Armageddon. Are you kidding me? So basically, French Fry wanted, chicken to be, basically what ice cream said. Because at the end, she said that was also part of her mission too. Which is really crazy coincidence. But this next clip, there might be a little bit of mystery, like a little bit of kind of a mystery, or basically kind of interesting. Just check this out.
If I could warp the world to my reality,
Make the seas run red with blood! Creatures of the night abound! Treachery reaching all known corners of the earth!
and a nice mansion for me and my French fry to settle down in.
So as it turns out, Ice Cream was like, he was wondering like, what if I could like warp my reality? Like basically, he could just do that because he's immortal and also pure of evil. As it turns out, he says something about making the seeds red with blood because he's a devil. He's basically pure of evil and all that. But also, he just says something like really cute at the end. But this would be part of the lore because it turns out, what if the immortals, including Bezel, can also do that? So maybe that was French what I was trying to say about a destroyer about worlds, like destroyer of worlds, and destroying the world to its reality. So that's why they're not trying to mess with Bezel instead of trying to take care of Chicken. That way they can't just get on Bezel's bad side. Well, they're already hurt, but whatever. But these next three clips, they're connected to one big thing. Just check this out.
Wanna hang out?
Oh, I'm sorry, Chicken. I can't. Hanging with my girlfriend.
That's okay. Next time. Peachy, we're going to the movies. Wanna come?
Sorry, me and Coffee are doing stuff.
Oh, okay. Hey, was wondering if you wanted to.
Sorry, girlfriend.
Well, that was something. That was purely something. As it turns out, Chicken, he just wants better of himself. He just wants to hang out with Chi. The first time he said, you want to hang out, and then Cheeseburger was like, oh, sorry, just doing things with my girlfriend, all that. Yeah, all that stuff. And then he was like, okay, maybe next time. But then, at the second time, it didn't work because of girlfriend, basically Coffee, because she's really busy with Kofi. But the third time, he starts to understand something. You see, remember when I said something about, we're focusing like more on Cheeseburger when I said earlier than instead of the lore? As it turns out, there were more wholesome episodes. On what French Wise said, the more wholesome episodes, the more we forget about the lore. Well, I hope. Well, some of y'all probably remember the lore instead of forgetting the lore and stuff. But what I'm trying to say is that we were so distracted on Cheeseburger to get with Coffee that we forgot about the lore and Chikn Nugget. And to make things worse, now Chikn Nugget's gonna feel alone because he always hangs out with Cheeseburger every single day. Like, remember the episode, like the clip when Cheeseburger hangs out with Bezel saying something about you fear him crossing him, don't you? Like every single day. But she says she's the sweetest and all that, which means she hangs out with Chicken a lot. And this could be a big spot on Chicken, which he's gonna feel alone. In this next clip, it's together. It's like connected. Just check this out.
I feel like I'm forgetting something important to do. Something so important that it would impact me in a bad way. If I can't remember it, then it was never important in the first place.
So, as it turns out, Ice Cream and French Fry don't know this, but as it turns out, Ice Cream didn't know that Chicken is depressed. You see, Remember when I said in the beginning of the video how Chikn turned from a really cute puppy to a mental ill character? Well, that's why, because it impacted him in a big way that he won't even be with Cheeseburger no more, or being friends with him. Not being friends, I won't say. They're still friends, but they don't hang out like a lot anymore, which that impacts him in a really big way. And also, French fry and ice cream don't know, but as it turns out, he's just about like to break it. He's like really sad and depressed, and I feel bad for the dog. Like, I feel bad for Chikn. And he was like, wait a minute, I think I'm starting to forget something. What am I forgetting? But if he couldn't remember it, then it was never important. As it turns out, it was because of Chikn. He was supposed to look an eye on Chikn. That way, this one never happened in the first place. But now, since Ice Cream didn't know, it's now too late. Because of this next clip. Take a look. So, yeah, he's really depressed. You see, the reason why Chikn felt really sad at the end was because, well, one, French fry and ice cream are busy because they're couples. Two, Slushy and Soy Pop, they're busy because Slushy's babysitting Soy Pop, which you already know because, French fry and ice cream got fired. But, why did I just do the sound effect? Either way, what was I about to say? Oh, yeah, right. And Cheeseburger and Kofi, they're too busy because they're already in a relationship because they just started being in a relationship. But this really impacts Chikn because he has no one to, like, hang out with. But this also reminds me of this other episode. So there was an episode or a clip of Chikn Nugget where he just, like, just says, we all have someone in our lives. Like, just take a look at this clip.
I think we've all had someone in our lives who, for even just a fleeting moment, we had an amazing time with. It was the best. And even though we drifted apart, and it's healthy to move on, I still think it's okay to mourn the loss of that moment of them.
So, yeah, as it turns out, Chikn's life lessons, you know. Hold on. I had to adjust that. Don't worry. Chikn's life lessons turned from, like, a life lesson to an actual reality. Because, you see, remember when Bezel said something about, like, wrapping its own recognition to its own selfish desire? As it turns out, he was saying that because the things Chikn said would actually become true. Like a life lesson, that would become true. And remember that one episode where Chikn said, I need a space, even though Cheeseburger was like, oh yeah, he needs some space, I'm gonna back away. But no, instead, he literally just takes your space. Like, here's the clip. Here's a clip of it happening.
No. Space.
Everything Chikn says. As it turns out, I remember because Bezel said something about affecting his friends with his powers, and his powers are really great because it's affecting his friends. We are getting somewhere really deep. And it turns out, all these things that these characters are saying are actually becoming into, you know, connecting into a puzzle and realizing that it could actually impact into a big way. And also, as it turns out, Chikn could probably put the fabric of reality to a really unstable factor, or a really unstable thing. But in this next clip, it's already too late.
Feeling a little left out.
Huh?
Well, it's only natural to. You shouldn't feel ashamed.
No.
You know, you can just, I don't know, fix everything.
Huh?
Oh, come now. What are reality warping powers for? Bend things to your will a little? Go on.
What are you talking about?
I think you know, deep down.
Sorry, I gotta go play with Chikn now.
Huh?
It's already too late. It's too late to turn back. Run! I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry what happened. As it turns out, remember when I said something about warping his realm beyond recognition? As it turns out, oh yeah, I forgot. Selfish desire. As it turns out, his powers are finally here. Mind controlling. As it turns out, his pupils were like dilating like a little bit, like basically shrinking and unshrinking, and Cheeseburger's eyes just became white or grayish color. I don't know. But it turns out, she said, "I'm gonna go play with Chikn now." As it turns out, Bezel's just like right there, just menacing, laughing, while Chicken's just disturbed. This means that French wine ice cream we're not doing a good job taking looking an eye on Chikn. So yeah, sorry ice cream and French wine, but it's already too late. But in this next clip, we see something that can transform to its true form. Take a look.
Why am I letting Bezel affect me? Why is he even here? Why is time running out? What is going on? Normalcy. I just want normalcy.
Oh my god. As it turns out, okay, basically Chikn said something about why is time running out and why is he letting Bezel affect him. As it turns out, basically all the weird things that Bezel said so cleverly good. As it turns out, the things he said about white voids, empty spaces, selfish recognitions and everything, it's actually starting to become a real thing. But if you pause at 11 seconds in the video really perfectly into the short, you'll see the demigod himself, which I'm gonna just point up here. Right there, that is the demigod. Also, this other YouTube channel called Nova Chibi, which I'll just point up here. As it turns out, he said something about the 7 deadly sins and everything because of these colors right here. The color of the eyes of the 7 deadly sins, I guess it meant something. But we may never know. But in this next clip, we see something kind of truly bizarre. Let's take a look. As it turns out, you see, remember the first episode of the Chikn Nugget series where basically Chikn Nugget just appears in the box and just says, "I'm born"? Instead of that, it's Bezel. Bezel's just right there, just like chilling. And he looks at the screen, which by the way, it's breaking the 4th wall. As it turns out, yep, time is running out. And holy crap, TikTok. I just had to scratch my head. Hold up, okay. As it turns out, yeah, time is running out, and he's just TikToking because time is almost running out. And it's too late to turn back. But in this next clip, Slushy kind of gets really terrified and getting suspicious of Bezel. In these next 2 clips, just take a look.
Hi, Slushy, how are you? Fine, me too.
What? As it turns out, he lost it. I feel like we lost Chikn. I don't think Chikn is on Earth anymore. I feel like he just lost it. He just lost it thanks to Bezel. Because you see, remember when I said something about like, you know, pausing the frame references? It turns out he's just like going insane and everything. And yeah, it's just complete, like, I don't know, complete insanity of him. But in this next clip, it just shows French fry, but she really didn't do a good job of doing Chikn. Just take a look.
I am Frenchfly, magical wish dragon from the realm of virtue. My mission? Protect my realm from ruin amidst the apocalypse. Inspiring virtue in the demigod of chaos may just be the thing to keep us safe. I'm confident all will go well.
Yeah, buddy, I don't think you're supposed to be that confident to feel well, because one, you did a horrible job keeping an eye on Chicken. Bruh. Yeah, I mean, at least she tried it. It's not her fault. I mean, I can't even keep an eye on a dog while it's off a leash. What did I say that? I'm sorry, I'm sorry, what happened? Either way, it turns out, yeah, I don't know why I hummed. Either way, it turns out, Frenchfly herself, she just said something about her realm and her true form right there, realm of virtue or anything. It turns out, she's just right there saying stuff about keeping an eye and then putting goodness into Chicken, but at the end, she's just like, she just didn't do it. Yeah, she didn't do it. Yeah, but in this next clip, the final clip, and by the way, this is part 1 of the lore. Part 2 is coming out really soon. I don't know, maybe. So, yeah, the last clip is kind of interesting. Just take a look.
So, Bezel's not actually gonna do anything bad, right?
Not necessarily. He's here more to put the stress on us. Remind us of what's to come. Hi! He'll go away when stuff hits the fan. Maybe. Hopefully.
So, yeah, as it turns out, Fly said something about, well, actually, Slushy. So, after later that episode of Slushy, like, being worried about Chicken. Wait, hold up. As it turns out, she's worried about Chicken, and she's probably wondering if Bezel did this to him. And then Slushy just talks to Fly, saying about, so Bezel's not even gonna do anything bad, right? And then she's like, nah, he's just here to, like, put the stress into, like, everyone. And as it turns out, remember when I said something about Fly not doing a good job? Well, she realized that. And now, she just said something about, like, putting realization, and then also another thing is that, well, yeah, right. She says something about putting the stress into us, and I feel like Bezel was doing that to Chicken, that way his powers could become into a reality, but we're going to get to that in part 2. Yeah, and that's all we have to say. Yeah, part 2 is going to come out really soon. Either way, thank you guys so much for, like, being patient. All the years, I mean, all the days you've been waiting, a month. Thank you guys for, like, waiting. It's been a real pleasure. Yeah. And I'll see you guys next time. Like, please subscribe. I've really put a lot of hard work and effort on this. No pressure, though. No pressure. And I'll see you guys again next time. But also have a theory. What if Bezel could have destroyed the world? We'll see you next time. Bye.
Good night to everyone except Logan. Good night to everyone except those who spell their name Logan. No! Good night to everyone except anyone whose name has the 5 letters Logan. Good night.